Okay, that's all set now. And so we have time to jump into the pre-market hot list here. Let's do that first. Back. But this RGTI, we'd be looking for if it'll break a dollar, yesterday's high, $1.91 today. I'll put a little on that. Well, actually, you can just put a price level alert. Click add alert, $1.91. Only once, not open-ended. Expires end of the week. Much difference after that. All right, LFMD. If anybody's got anything they need me to look at, please make sure I look at it, because we do not want to know 1 minute after the market open. At that point, it's spoiled. It's been ruined. So if there's anything that we need to look at this morning, let us know now, or forever hold your peace. You missed it, basically. Taste, is that an ER move? Is this up 8% in pre-market, but not in any of my, oh, there it is. Okay, good. 42,000 volume, normally does 800,000 volume, so it's only 5% RVol. Probably going to fade. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was looking at this yesterday, UIHC for an entry. It was really tough because I was looking at this in the market close, getting in. The market was in our favor on that. Maybe I even didn't get in. No. It's just that it was so extended, such a nice breakout, though, but not on highest volume. So there is that, and that the market had pulled back. But it is up another 8% this morning off of yesterday's 28% move. It's on our hot list, so we'll be waiting for it for a signal. Whack with a little signalage this morning. Showing up on any of my lists. Let's check the volume. Now that I got even more of you here, did anybody take the CPRI Lotto yesterday alert? Lotto alert, CPRI. It's up 1,750% this morning. Okay, and the volume on DWAC this morning is 35,000. Nothing too big, and the average volume is 300,000. Yeah, no. Talk. ST. We've got 15 minutes before the market opens, and we can go over the market in just a second here. LI could be possibly an entry today. Should probably keep an eye on that. Okay, we're pulling back to the VWAP on APP. That'd be a swing trade entry that we're looking to get. WAP, I'm going to get in for half position. And then I'll cap it off after it does a 1 minute opening range breakout. It's T, no. O. See, Fubo volume on Thinkorswim says 555,000 shares traded, but in TradingView, pre-market volume shows 41,000 shares traded. Just don't get it. Got to go with the bigger figure, obviously. And then its average volume is 35 million, so it's Alto way down. Is that correct? No, never mind. It was wrong reading in TradingView. No, Alto's up a smidge. That's fine. 3.5%. I believe I got out of Alto though on an undercut 2 days ago. It gapped open up above inner shelf pivot break and ran all day, and that's exactly where it's at right now after trading. All right, let's take a look at the market. So CPI data came out, and in my opinion, it was negligible. So, somewhat neutral. But what typically happens is over today and tomorrow, it starts to like set in, bake in, and it's sort of like the small difference of whatever really matters that's not really moving the market yet starts to get multiplied and multiplied and multiplied over the course of today and perhaps tomorrow. And so it's hard to say which way it's going to go from here because it's such a fine change, right? If it was a big change, we could see, the market would, already be expressing itself. But right now, it's hard to say. The market is like trending up. It could go either way, as the numbers start to, give off results as the market weighs in throughout the day. So even a small change, you won't notice it now, but it'll get multiplied and multiplied and multiplied. A month's worth of expectation will get multiplied today and maybe a little bit more tomorrow. And possibly some opinions over the weekend will cause it to bake in even more fully next week. But as it stands right now is, the numbers were fairly neutral. So maybe the market stays that way, but we'll see. And we're set to open near yesterday's high after quite a whiplash day. Here, let's pull up yesterday's move. Upper right of the 4-quadrant detailed chart here. Yesterday, the market opened and then dropped all morning, bottomed at about noon, came nearly all the way back up, so about 3/4 of the way back up over VWAP, bounced off VWAP when it came back to retest it, but then failed VWAP, broke down again, and we closed about 80% bearish on the day. So somehow after going down and then up and then down. Now we're back up, and it's just a whole bunch of choppy whiplash around here, which should tell you that this area is key. That there is, something about this area that we're not just passing through. This is an important crossroads in the market. These levels here, and in fact, on the daily chart on the growth market, yesterday kept bouncing off of the 50 moving average area. Because across all of those leading stocks, that's where they're at. Like if you go to NVIDIA, the green line there, NVIDIA is also sort of sitting right at the 50 moving average. And NVIDIA is actually opening below yesterday's close. So NVIDIA is following through on the fact that it's going to push through the 50 moving average, whereas the market's not. But that could just be because Apple perhaps has popped this morning, or some other. Yeah, it has a little bit something else. But Apple fell below its 50 hardcore 4 days ago. Oh, masterclass is tonight, and I think we'll be talking a lot about nailing down profits. That'll be the subject, because that's important, especially in this pullback correction environment where prices are depreciating. But, we'll talk about it tonight. But you get into something, and you need to be extremely conservative and aggressive with your capital. So we'll be talking about that tonight for members. If anybody out there is not a member, this is that comes with your membership. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, you got to figure it out. We don't want people who can't figure it out by themselves. So figure it out, or you're not somebody we want in our group. It's unfortunate, but going with the hard sell this morning. All right, we still don't quite have a position entry pre-market on APP. Carl's like, damn, I can't figure it out. So is he going to kick me out of the group? Maybe, Carl, maybe. Just looking around different stocks here. I need to know, we've got a couple minutes before the open, need to know anything else we should be looking at today. They probably, things that have reported earnings. Let's see. Disney is up marginally, 2%. Was it Lululemon that reported? No, not so much. Let me get back to the Market Chameleon. Market Chameleon. So many tabs open. There it is. Most active. That's useful as well. Watch that. Yeah, taste. That we looked at. I think the problem was it's very low volume. It's about 5% RVOL. So it's not something. All right, most actives. Let's see if anything's changed. Molin. No, there's nothing going on there. Which is what? WeWork? Okay, yeah, WeWork. I looked at this earlier. We has 20.5 million shares traded and is up 21%. It's a dead cat bounce. Any other stocks? We got 4 minutes before the open. And then after that, it'll be too late. Opportunities. Please make sure you let us know. Okay. Trading 13 million pre. Normally does 200 million on the day. That's also 5% RVOL. Very nothing. All right. We're looking for, high volume catalyst type days. So we're going after probably app this morning, and that's just about it. And if anybody got the CPRI Lotto ER alerted in my trade alerts, that is up 1,750% this morning. It was at $34 when you bought it, and now it's at $55. $34. The stock is. The Lotto option was $100, and it'd be at $1,750 this morning, plus a little premium. And then if the price goes up from there, which I'm not sure if it will, because the news is ER/buyout. But yeah, you got nearly 2,000% on that one. That pays for like 3 Lotto sets entirely. Like if every single one of them didn't make any money at all, and you lost everything on 3 Lotto sets, that one win pays for all 3 Lotto sets. But that's not how the other ones go. The other ones break even, are down a tiny bit, or are up a bit. These are the big, huge wins that subsidize the whole ER Lotto during earnings season. Next earnings season will be in 3 months. Right, almost new highs on APP. Market's opening in 1 minute and 50 seconds. APP breaking out before the market opens. That's not necessarily a good sign. I mean, it's a good sign. It's just it's not necessarily useful. You don't want to get sucked in like that. And the level to put your stop at is probably 34.50 when we eventually get in. If we get in. Okay, this is an EP on high volume. So this would be no, it's not high. Whoops, I got the wrong app up. I pulled up apps in my trading. Yeah, the volume today is a bit soft. So, and yet it's pivotal breakout on soft volume. So it's just a highly defensive entry. Excuse me. All right, so we'll be watching that for the first minute, and the market's opening in 20 seconds. I'd say that the CPI wasn't good news. It wasn't bad news either. But because it wasn't good news, we have no reason to not stop pulling back on the market. All right, here we go. Market's open. All right, app's up $1. We're also looking to get in LI, similar reasons. Stop there would be 43.4. Like it's going to break. All right, we've got a high set of 39 on the first minute on app. So it's going to take a while to break that, probably. That's great. It means it might even be able to push us over into a 5-minute make a dip buy type of trade. Feel free to let me know anything that you guys are seeing. Each other posted. All right, so this chart on the upper left of my forward surgical view on stocks is my 5-minute now. And so the 5-minute will help us potentially get a 5-minute mega dip buy type entry on APT. Oh, we got the RGTI is crossing. That's an entry on RGTI. Stop at lower of the day, which is $1.73. It's at $1.94. This is a 20-cent stop. That seems reasonable. Here we go. RGTI, get in. Or about half risk. Okay, and then now defend your position. Back to app, which we need to watch. Now RGTI also goes on the radar screen. It looks like LI is about to get the breakout that we were looking for. If it breaks 44, LI, I'll be stopped at the low of the day at 43.50, so about 50 cents of risk on that. And this is an episodic pivot day. Let me see. LI. No, this is just a pullback entry, and I'd put it at about a third position size if we get it, which I think we're just about to. Here it comes. So if it breaks 44, just about where it's at, 44.07 really. So I'm going to put it at 44.08, a stop order to buy at market. Huh? Did I type too many shares? Oh, I don't really have enough buying power. Okay. Well, in the meantime, it looks like it's ready to pop right now. 44.04. That's too many. Yeah. Oh, I'm just short by a little bit. Damn, just missed it. Anybody else get it? Yeah, that's entry. Just missed it by a smidge because my order size needed changing. Looks like we're back to a huge pullback on BL. Okay. Okay, this is a short. Never mind. This is a short on BL. Opened a little bit bounced up this morning. Okay, RNG with about giving back about 50% of gains on my short. That's another short. And I got to check on RGTI. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely closing RNG. About the profits on that. That's probably my order right there. Printing. No. Hang it up. All right, let's take a look at RGTI in detail and see if we're getting that follow through. Not really. We're already back down half on the day. Give it a little more of a leash, and then we might have to cut it. LI also not following through. App, no entry yet on app. It's a day of no entries so far, really. And so that should be a sign, that the market is anemic right now. Not ready. It's not ripe. Like in the just dirt phase. It's like we're taking out all of the old crops, and then we got to like bring in some. We're barely into the let's bring in some fertilizer, new fertilizer phase, and get this dirt healthy, let alone put some seed in, and let alone let's get some growth. Edible is up a whole lot. Oh, what about Yeti? Were we supposed to watch Yeti? Yeti was low volume, but it was interesting, and it looks like it may have taken off. Nah, it's actually just kind of dojiing up here. Arvol is projecting to be 200%, but we really need it to be 300% projecting by the end of the day. So, yeah, this is pretty anemic. Let's take a look at CPRI. Gas trading around $55 now, was $34 yesterday. My cat meowing out there. 37.5s are trading for $1,700. So those were $100 yesterday. So it's up, whatever that is, 1,500% at the moment. Yeah, BABA on very low volume. Yeah, that's a nothing. I see days like that all over the fucking place on this chart down here. It needs to be more extraordinary. It's kind of what I'm getting at. Not that I'm like poo-pooing minor progress, but who gives a fuck, right? About minor progress. So, we want to look for something that we can grab the tail of. But maybe that can amount to a base hit for somebody, and that's okay. You're good. Edible, CPRI, we app, taste. Let's take a look at we. All right, both lithium or Li, whatever you want to call them, Li motors, whatever that auto, and RGTI both above our entries now. Yeah, we is just a gap trade there, potentially today. You have only a 90% chance of you have a 90% chance of only filling 25% of the gap. After that, it drops off considerably. There's not much there. It's about 2 cents of gain, maybe potential. That's not really a good trade. All right, app just continues to go down. It's going to find a bottom at some point, and that could amount to something. And you can see that using our 5-minute candle entry technique. See, that's here on the left. We're not getting it. You break above a prior 5-minute candle's high. BLND. Let's see. Blend Labs. BD. Fairly low. Arval. Too low. High one is VT. Yeah, it's very high Arval. Very high. Probably because of earnings, but it's significant of a move. Telling us much. That is pretty much nothing. Very interestingly anemic morning. Did I look at edible? I don't know if I looked at edible. Okay. Edible with 5,000% RVOL. 1,700% RVOL reading on Thinkorswim. I don't know why up, but that's the way it goes. And right now it is pulling way back off of the market breakout. We can be watching it all day. This could be something that upholding. This could be one of these patterns where it tries to create a journey to the 200 from here. Kind of done that before many times. They've only done one split, but they've kind of done nothing but go down in price. Not bad company. Let's see how that 5-minute chart's shaping up. Market is sideways, putting in an inside day so far. Yesterday's candle was pretty big, so that's nothing out of the ordinary, but we haven't had an inside day for 2 weeks. Something's wrong with TradingView's not pulling up. Oh, here we go. I think it's coming up now. All right. So look at these 5-minute candles on app on the left here in this window. I mean, we're looking for it to compact, to pick up, to start some momentum, and it's doing nothing but bleeding out. So RGTI is testing entry. Oh. Looking for that entry on APP. Just all profit taking. The demand isn't there, but it is giving an end of day RVOL projection of almost 600%. All right. Well, as far as the market goes, healthcare zooming, consumer staples zooming, financials, and utilities. These are all defensive/inflation sectors. Industrials, base materials. Then tech is sideways. Energy zooming. And discretionary is up as well. So that's actually a good sign for the market. It's basically everything is up. Only thing not up is tech, and that's not bad either. It's semi sideways. Things could get worse. You have something you need me to look at. Let's look at it. Or if I'm going to roast your ass, it's worth looking at. It's money. We're talking money here. Okay, RGTI is back to our entry. Had it with this BKD stock not following through. I'm just going to take my capital back. At a very small 1/6 R loss. It's a nothing. Moving. Let's see. Reclaim bounce off the 200 on Nikola. That's an entry. Opportunity $1.90 stop. It's at 210. 20 cents of risk. Nikola. And a 200 bounce. Pull back. I have to put that at near full position. But given the market, well, actually, the market's looking good too. So got to go with full position on that. I don't know if I have enough funds, but I'll do. Oh yeah, plenty. So that's a reclaim bounce entry off of the 200, bouncing off of the 200 on Nikola, and it's also still somewhat strong. Not completely failed out like some of the others that have. I have some things that are not doing so good that are improving over the course of the last 20 minutes off the open. And then I have other things that were doing really good that are deteriorating. So you know how that goes. What I'd like to see is a moment where the things that were not doing so good are improving, and the things that are doing good do great. That'd be a nice little moment. Never know how all those oscillations are going to line up. What I mean by that, you never know how those oscillations are going to line up. If you have two things and one is oscillating, like, it's trading and up and down, up and down, up and down, its oscillations are whatever period they are, frequency. Well, if you have another thing and those oscillations are of a different oscillation frequency, then only sometimes do they line up. It's sort of like waves on the ocean. If you have a bunch of little waves, and then every 7 little waves there's a big wave, or every 7 to 9 waves there's a big wave. Well, then when the little waves line up with the big waves, you can get a bigger wave. So that's what happens. It's kind of an important concept in hedging your portfolio to understand that concept, especially running a delta neutral portfolio, because of the correlations to the market, or the correlations to each other. You have stocks in your portfolio and they correlate to each other either inversely or in correlation. You have to know if there's going to be a move, if you're going to get a huge move this way. Well, if so, then you need something on the other side that should that thing fall, it would go up. And there's a lot of risk management hedging theory stuff there for that. Having to do with correlation. Hey, let's go back to app. We might have missed it just while I was talking. Could have been the entry. Actually, there it is. This is an entry, and what minute are we on? Okay, we got a minute. Yeah, that's entry on app. Stop to the 33. This I probably do not have enough money for. Let's see. No, I can get maybe a quarter of that size. Oh, it's just so close. Is it going to not give it to me? It gave it to me. Okay. All right, I'm in, but it looks like by the time this candle closes, it will not have closed above that. And if that's the case, then we're going to need to get out or defend the position. Oh, well, we've got 43 seconds left before this candle closes. And it'd be nice if it closed above that previous candle's level. $20 seconds. Funny how that works, right? I mean, Jesus, when we used to do the mega dip buy trade, when we get our signal, it was very robust. It's just strange how coming up off of the bottom now, it seems to be the fight is over. by the time the 5-minute candle comes over to the previous candle's high and closes that. And here we are. We've got a little bit of momentum on our side. I've got shares. I'm just going to sell 5% right here on this strength. App and then Nikola. Let's keep that up as well since we're in that. We're in RGTI and it's at our entry. LI has pulled back a lot, but it's still close to our entry. After pushing so much, you wouldn't have been wrong to cut it when it came back to break even. I was just talking. That'd be fine if you did so. I'm not going to say that's what you do because in swing trading, it depends more on the multi-day, and this is intraday, so it can depend. Because are you going for a swing trade or are you going for an intraday day trade? I got to take a look at my Jack in the Box. Short. Bounced off of the 200. Pretty much where I wanted to take it, to the 200. So I'm going to go ahead and close out Jack in the Box. I got gains out of it, and that's good enough for me. It was a short. Continuing. Go ahead and take 5% out on the strength on that since I have shares. I have to do that, but in a downturn in the market, it's a good idea to be extremely defensive. Who remembers trading in the bear market for that year and a half of the bear market? By the end of that bear market, you should have realized how defensive you have to be in downturns in a long position. If you're long something in a downturning market, which we're in right now, it's correcting. You should have got a feel for the year and a half of boot camp in that bear market for how defensive you need to be with your positions. It's extremely defensive. It's like same day defensiveness. Lucky if you get a day of follow through. Kind of like the stars must have aligned if you got like 2, 3, or 4 days of follow through. Correct? Remember that? So you need to be very aggressive and defensive, taking your profits during these moments when you're getting in longs. If you're in anything long during these moments. Okay, we're getting further move off the bottom on Nikola on the chart. That looks like, oh, is this it? No, that's Jack in the Box. That. And we'd ideally be hoping to break yesterday's high. That would just be great, and you should potentially take a smidge of profits around that level when and if it comes. All right, the markets are flying. See, this is what I was talking about. You just don't know which way that minor change, how it's going to affect things. And it looks like it's affected things into a positive. I'm going to go ahead and get out of lithium now, LI. liking the way it's not holding on to VWAP. But it could very well just zigzag around VWAP for a while and then eventually get back up to the highs and then break out and run. I'll just keep an eye on it. I'm going to keep my money off the table, off of that craps table. So we've got Nikola working. We've got APP in progress. I just don't need it. I don't need that risk in particular. APP continues to improve. We used to take some profits. What if we had the granularity in our position? Sometimes it was options. But if you've got the shares, you should take some profits underneath whatever key level is around VWAP. So that'd be 35.90. VWAP is currently 35.90. 550 possibly. If you want to press your luck, but maybe 35.70, 69, 35.69 is probably a good spot to just take a little bit on APP. But ideally what we're looking for here is for it to win a fight with VWAP, back bounce off VWAP, and then eventually come and test the open up at 38 and win that fight and then break the high of the day, which is 39. The mega dip buy trades, that's typically what we're looking for. And it can take 20 minutes to 45 minutes. Stock is going to do it. If it's going to do it, it does it within that time frame. It's going to take an hour and a half, or more all day or something. It could have gone either way. Just getting lucky. But if it's really there, the demand is there, it's going to be there. It's going to be enough. If it's going to be enough, it's going to be enough to get it done in 20 to 45 minutes. In my experience. All right, Nikola going more. Let's take a look at Nikola and see if we're at any key levels to take profits on there. Because, like I said, I want to be taking a little profits just underneath yesterday's close. Yesterday's close was, high or open is the way it works out. 215 and high is 216. So that's where we are right now. So I want to take a little bit of profit off of at this key level, right? Another 5%. Working the money here, working the money, working the trade. And then app is hanging out. RGTI, we already closed. Okay, good. I'm going to put that into my close. No, that may not be closed. Hold on. Did we? I was letting that bake a little longer, and it looks like probably it's time to cut it. Getting really close and very testy. And it's a reclaim bounce off the 50 that didn't follow through. It would have been nice if it followed through. I'm just going to cut it. I've got other things working. I don't need the grief. I don't need the resistance. I don't need the weights. Out of that. And then, of course, if it continues, if it goes back up and it wants to break that high, I can be alerted. I just put an alert on it right here. Let me know. App being very friendly. That just tells you, at the moment anyway, it's being pretty friendly. The trade is pretty friendly on the APP entry there. And that's just telling you that we did get the bottom. So if we get kicked out of the trade from here, it's correct to exit, right? Everything's just working fine on that trade. We come back to break even. You could get out half, for example, or all, whatever you want to do. And that's what it's kind of doing. It's getting close to that journey. And see that Nikola right off of yesterday's high, rejected. Just a key level, Market is flying. We've got VIX is below 15 again. It's at 14.63. The dollar's strong. It's helping the market. Oil's holding, so energy prices, and so that probably means inflation and industrials and all that will be holding. Yeah, see LI just plummeting. Once it looked like it just had no interest in holding VWAP, I mean, it just cut right through it. Didn't have any bounce, didn't have any, attempt to hold VWAP. Then it was going to lose VWAP. It was a good estimation that it was going to lose VWAP. And if so, where's the next stop? Low of the day. And I'm not interested. We got other positions working. Not interested. Okay, we're coming up to that level, 35.69 on app, where I'm going to take my first just little minor exit of 5%. And the ask is a little wide, so I'm going to make that a limit order. How it's rejecting off of that already. I'm going to go with 67, 35.67. I got to take a look at this short I'm in. Gapped open up, and I'm hoping it's just fading all day. Okay, yeah, so far so good. Okay. MRTX trade with some good follow through. This is something we're going to talk about tonight. The run to the 200. Reversal run to the 200 pattern. Covering that tonight, and also the concept, like we talked about, that I mentioned before, taking profits. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about tonight and you're hoping for, like you'd love to see in the masterclass? Just let me know if there is. Okay, we're 10 minutes past the top of the hour. I usually only cover until the top of the hour, but it's an interesting day. There's some stuff going on, especially with app there. We're about to probably hit that 5% take profit right underneath of WAP. And we're hoping for it to go all the way, like I mentioned earlier. So very good. I'm going to have some breakfast. Have a good morning, everybody. And I'll see you back into the group in just a minute. Take care.